Hi, everyone. My name is Timothy Mitchell, and I'm going to be hosting a big event October 30th. The October 30th event is for anybody that's interested in digital textile printing. And you should be, because it's a very lucrative market. It's got a huge growth ceiling. And my adage is anything that can be put in an SEG frame will be put in an SEG frame. So if you can't print 10-foot fabric and have it sewn into an SEG frame, you're going to have to call somebody else, and they're going to take the lion's share of the profits. So we at Mimaki have a number of printers, sublimation printers, that I think would be perfect to get into this game, except it's complicated. You know, the game has got a lot of moving parts and it's confusing, and people buy things and don't realize the steps. So what we did is created an event that's going to happen October 30th, the day before Halloween, at our Mimaki facility in Los Angeles. It's actually in Gardenia. It's right near LAX. And it's going to be all day on the 30th. And we're going to walk you through, with all the experts, what you need to understand to do digital printing successfully without any surprises in the workflow about the things that are going to be necessary. We call it file to finishing. So I'm going to have web to print, software rips, color control, and that brings me to my guest here, which is Marco Roos from Color. Well, I know you as the Barbieri guy, all right, but your actual company, what is the name of your actual company?
ColorBase.
ColorBase. But I always know Color Concepts, which is part of ColorBase, and then Barbieri.
Yeah, Color Concepts is our old name. We changed our name to reflect our digital strategy and our future. So it's now officially ColorBase. Color Concepts is no more.
All right, good. We have that cleared up. And if you want to buy a Barbieri in the United States, it goes through you. Is that correct?
That's correct. We have an exclusive distributorship with Barbieri Italy. We import the devices into the US, sell them into the United States, Canada through both resellers and direct. And we've been doing that for the past 5 years. I've been servicing and supporting and repairing, recalibrating devices for close to 8 years in the United States. So we have a pretty solid track record.
Excellent.
With Barbieri.
All right. So tell my guests a little bit about what is a Barbieri, what's it for, what does it do? It's called a spectrophotometer, but a lot of people say it, but they don't really know. What is that? And then specifically for fabric printing, for textile printing, what would be the type of Barbieri that you would recommend?
Yeah, so Barbieri is a manufacturer of measurement devices. So what they basically do is they turn everything we can see with our naked eye into digital color. And that's what a spectrophotometer does. It measures the wavelength of light. There are many manufacturers of spectrophotometers for many different industries. You'll find them even in the food industry or in the car manufacturing industry. But for us in the printing industry, we're looking for specific features because we measure specific materials. And in large format printing in general, not just textile printing, we often face difficult materials. They're structured, they're thick, they're heavy, they're super flexible, they're stretchable, and they go into all kinds of directions. And what Barbieri is specialized in is building automated devices, measurement devices that measure completely automatically on a wide range of difficult materials and also easy materials, of course. And they do that with hardware that is all metal based. It's super solid stuff. It has all kinds of features that are specifically designed for the wide format and large format printing industry. And then when looking at textiles, we have a textile edition, which is a device that has a switchable aperture, so you can print small patches to save materials. If you have structured materials, you can widen the aperture of the device to up to 8 millimeters. And then we have textile sample holders that hold even stretchy fabrics. They hold it down. We have camera systems that recognize targets that are not entirely straight, so it can compute the path to follow to make sure it always measures the exact center of a patch. And it has air blowing systems built into the sensor to keep all the dust and the fibers out, so that we are absolutely guaranteed for a clean device, so that we always have the optimized measurements.
Wow, that's quite a list of impressive technologies specifically devoted to textile printing. So yes. You have a Barbieri that is specifically focused on the textile industry for our digital printing textile business.
Yeah. We at ColorBase, we exist for 21 years, and we've been doing implementations, profiling, color management workflows, and building workflows with print companies for more than 20 years in more than 87 countries. So we with that comes a ton of experience with measurement devices. And like all of us in color management, we started with the manual devices, we started with spot readers, we started with rulers. We started with all these devices. We tried everything. And the biggest nightmare for anyone in printing and large format printing, if you're serious about color management, and everyone should be, because it's your core business, color is your core business, then we all know how frustrating it can be to read particular difficult materials and on different ribs, and what Barbieri became really good at about 15 years ago is building devices that basically measure anything. And you got a 100% guarantee that you can measure whatever target, whatever material, with whatever ink on whatever print technology. And that makes them extremely solid for specifically fabrics, because fabrics are very hard to measure for a multitude of reasons. It's, first of all, the materials are structured, so light refracts into all kind of directions. You got to make sure that you catch enough of the reflection to get an accurate measurement. But secondly, it also stretches. It has structures. It's never straight. It's always hard, and that's where Barbieri is. Yeah, we can say the best choice. It's simply the only device that does this.
Wonderful. Hey, there's another thing. I think unless you mentioned it and I didn't hear it. So we have a couple different ways to print on textile. One at Mimaki. One is I can use any number of our dye sublimation printers that can be, some are direct and others are transfer. But we also have the ability to print direct to fabric on UV printers. And the UV printers, of course, also in addition have white layer, so we can utilize that. One of the things that I think for me anyway was always really key for a Barbieri is you guys have the ability to read transmissively, like right onto the bed. And I think without the transmissive reader, all of the heavy saturated backlit, which is huge in the SEG market. I mean, boy, get on a people mover on an airport and it's just one backlit fabric SEG after another. You need a spectrophotometer to do that, and you need to be able to read transmissively.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the transmissive readings, is not new. Backlit printing existed already on film and then moved into textiles about 10 years ago, and it became really, really big. Like you said, all these SEG frames at every airport or retail location, they're all backlit fabrics. And the best difficulty with backlits is there's a couple of things. But first of all, to get stable readings with a light shining through the material basically and switching off the light in the measurement head, but still being able to conform to all kind of standards. So if you do like G7 or FOGRA standards, there are specifications for what type of light to use, what color of light to use, etc., with or without UV cut. That's for the more technical people amongst us. That is all stuff that every measurement device does in reflective, but in transmissive, it's a whole different story. And Barbieri has a built-in light source in the table that is also calibrated, that meets the standards and guarantees accurate readings even for backlits. So you can have the same level of color management on backlit materials as what you would have on reflective materials.
Oh, fantastic. Well, look, I want to give you a chance also to talk a little bit about some of the other things that you do in addition to the Barbieri, but I don't want to give everything away because otherwise, why attend my event? We've already discussed it all. So I want to make sure that you have time at the event that we're having in Los Angeles to go into this, and also that individual people can get a chance to meet you and ask you questions about their workflow, because every workflow is a little different. One guy's a flag banner guy, the other guy's a backlit guy, the other guy does sportswear, another is UV focused. So everyone's going to have sort of a different question, and that's why we set this up. Tell me a little bit about some of the other stuff you do with your company.
Yeah, so ColorBase itself is we are originally based out of the Netherlands, hence my accent. I got that accent.
I didn't notice at all.
No, you did, Timothy. You tell me all the time. But it's I got this accent by working in the Netherlands, or maybe because I was born there. But I live in the United States now, and our business has been active in the United States for the past 13 years. Most companies or manufacturers in the industry knows us as a company that does tons of profiling certification programs for a wide variety of manufacturers, including Mimaki. We've been working with Mimaki for the past 15 years. We do have a ton of Mimakis in our testing and profiling lab in Europe. And besides that, we also offer a lot of on-site training and support for when things get difficult. And what I mean by that is that we are seeing an increasing amount of customers, also in the US, that have a mix of printing technologies ranging from flatbed to UV. They don't necessarily buy it all from one reseller or one manufacturer. It's a mix of devices. It's also a mix of RIP softwares and workflows. And that will make things very, very hard. So we are partnering with a lot of brands in the industry. We know their equipment really well. We know the RIP software really well. And we offer on-site implementation services for color management workflows. And that includes Barbieri. It includes RIP software such as Print Factory, for example, who is also one of the guests on the event.
Yes.
Yeah. And we see them doing really well in hybrid environments. But of course, we also see Onyx, Caldera, all the other brands as well. And then profiling for different print technologies, different printers, matching colors, and all that stuff is often a bridge too far, as we say in Dutch, for a reseller that probably only sells Mimaki, but doesn't have any experience with a Durst, for example. And of course, we don't want to talk about Durst during your event, but I get it. It's reality. It's the reality that print shops have mixed environments, and that is what we are really good at for the past 21 years. And that's also a service we offer, and our background and our install base and our ColorBase.com platform, in combination with the millions of profiles we host there and the more than 100,000 users we have on there, in combination with the lab and the experience we've got, we do have a lot of backup, internally as well to tackle the most difficult situations that often manufacturers or resellers struggle with, and that's where we help.
Excellent. Thank you very much for filling me in on all that. Well, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I want to save stuff for the event that we have coming up, and we can talk about, you mentioned Durst. I was thinking that's fine, because we're like the very reliable Toyota, right? And then Durst is like the very finicky Mercedes-Benz, so we're perfectly happy being the very reliable little Toyota Camry. That's definitely in our wheelhouse.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that you help
yourself.
everyone. No, you're right. People have complex workflows, and we take them as they are, and they have different printers to do different things. And what you lend them is the ability to take all of those printers and all those RIPs and rationalize it and say, let's put this all together so everything prints the way it's supposed to, and everything prints in uniform, reproducible harmony.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well,
Marco, thank you so much for the time. Old friend, looking forward to seeing you in Los Angeles. It'll be a very good event.
Thank you, Timothy. And thanks for organizing the event. Thanks for having me here. And I wish you good luck with all the preparations.
All right. Thank you. Bye.